You start the race at the starting line, and you immediately afterward are plunged into the sink, which is filled with water. Immediately afterward, you are going to trick off of this first ramp, which is going to give you your first set of item boxes. You then are going to take a left, which we unfortunately don't get to see, and then immediately afterward, you are then going to trick off of another ramp, and this is going to take you into the shower. You can also trick off the ramp and then land on the sponge bridge, which you can see Bowser and Kamek doing right here. Whether you decide to ride the sponge bridge or not, you will eventually have to land on the shower floor, after which point you will have to go down the drain. After going down the drain, players will have to go through the underwater pipe section. Once players are done with the underwater pipe section, they will exit through a pipe exit, and then they will land on the bathroom floor. After this, players will then have to take a left turn, and they can go on an optional half pipe and get some more item boxes if they choose to do so. And that is followed immediately afterward by a glider ramp, which will take players over the toilet. If the player doesn't do anything special during the toilet glider section, the player will land on the bottom shelf, and then will have to navigate inside the shelf, which we unfortunately don't get to see until they navigate outside of it, and then they can simply drive to the finish line, completing a lap. If the player is lucky and they wish to take advantage of it, there may just be a water geyser coming out of the toilet when they go through the toilet glider section. I'm going to assume that this water geyser works the exact same as the sand geyser that can be found on Bone Dry Dunes. The sand geyser will periodically come out of the sand, come way up into the sky, and anybody who treks off it will get a height boost, and then they'll be able to take a higher route that they otherwise would be unable to access. Once a player lands on the top shelf, they will have to go around this little hole, making sure not to fall in it, and then they will be presented with this glider ramp, from which they can choose to either go onto the main route and then just finish a lap like normal, or they can finish a lap and then they can go onto a side route, which I critically did not mention in the beginning. If the player decides to take the side route, they can expect to see a set of item boxes with a total of 3 double item boxes included in it, along with a boost panel, and then a ramp which will lead players to a mushroom pad, which will then lead players into the shower section of the track, thereby making them rejoin the main route once again.